have all of the Tesla vehicles we currently own. So we got two Model Y Performances right there, and of course the Model X. And all of these cars have the Defense Plus paint protection film on the entire car. I have made many videos on this paint protection film because I really like it. It does a great job at protecting our vehicles, and it's a DIY kit, so you kind of do it yourself and you save a lot of money that way as well. When it comes to putting a PPF, there's one thing you guys have to be careful of, and that is when you go to a automatic car wash, the one that actually touches your car. On this Model X, for example, part of this was actually missing. A car wash ended up ripping it off, so I had to cut it. So Defense Plus ended up sending me a new film, and I ended up protecting the front end once again. Then we have this Model Y over here, where the wash actually ended up ripping off the entire side of the paint protection film. My sister ended up contacting the wash. They ended up first sending a picture of a Model S that was in red, and obviously that was not our vehicle, and clearly that vehicle had no damage. And finally they ended up sending us the picture of this Model Y, which had the issue where the PPF was actually ripped off before she entered the wash. Now my sister only used that wash, but she doesn't check her car every time coming out of the wash. It might have happened a day prior, but they didn't really send the other ones either. I contacted Drive Protected. They also verified it was because of the car wash. The Defense Plus film is actually really strong. I was able to use some tack solution, clean up the back of the film, and stick it back up onto the bumper, which actually looked much better. I was really impressed that I could re-stick it almost to look perfect. And this car had a lot of rocks that ended up hitting it, and when I took the bumper PPF out, there was no damage on the bumper, which is really impressive. Then we have this Model Y here, which also had a similar issue. Same spot, it ended up coming off, and as you can see, at the time when I saw it, I did end up cutting it. So this portion is not protected. This portion was also all damaged after a car wash, so I ended up replacing this entire fender as well. So now this is all new. And let me show you here how important it is to have a full paint protection film on your vehicle. Do you see the scratch? This would have been really bad if this was on the actual paint, but this is thankfully on the Defense Plus paint protection film. It doesn't really 100% heal. Like, this part seems healed. With this Model Y, gotta admit right now, the installation, as you can see, did not turn out that well, but this is all my fault. This is a good learning experience for you guys as well because of my mistake. So my city currently has a ban on water, so we can't wash the vehicle at home, and for that, because I had to go to a car wash it there, and then drive back home so I could do the install, I forgot to use the isopropyl alcohol to wipe the car before installing the PPF. So I had a really hard time getting them to actually stick around on the bumper, which ended up allowing a lot of dirt and stuff to get underneath the film and stick to it. Because I used a lot of tack solution, I thought that if I used tack solution it would work. So what I had to do was I had to peel it off and then wipe it, but again the microfiber towel ended up maybe hitting the film and then leaving some dust particles underneath it. So this installation went not so well. However, like from a distance, as you can see, you can't really tell, especially when the car is dirty and it's got bugs and stuff on it. You can't really easily tell, but when you get close by, you will notice these little dust bubbles over there. There's just a bit too many, unfortunately. But there's the important thing. You have to wipe down your bumper, your whole car, if you're putting it on your whole car, with the isopropyl alcohol, so that way the film can easily stick and make your installation super easy. This is actually their multi-piece bumper. As you can see, there's actually a crease in between here, so you have multiple parts, and also here. The reason I chose the multi-piece one, because let's say this thing happens again, I would only have to replace this portion of the PPF instead of the whole thing. And here's what the full piece one looks like. As you can see, there's no any separation, so if something happens, then you have to replace the whole thing pretty much. As you can see here, it is all connected. Nice thing about Drive Protected Defense Plus film is that it's also super easy to remove. I use a heat gun and I can remove it, and it barely leaves any glue behind. When I washed the Model X at home, also ended up using the isopropyl alcohol on this car. You can see the installation went super, and you can go watch that video when I installed it. The installation went really great. On this car, the fender install went great because I was able to end up using the isopropyl alcohol. I didn't forget on this one. I did wipe the car with it for the fender portion, and you have to really stare for it to see some dust, like right there, because I don't have the best environment to install it. I'm happy with the results. You can't really tell. I mean, this is the whole car with a Defense Plus PPF. Overall, I'm very happy with it. I just wish I didn't forget that one step so that I could have installed the PPF better on the red Model Y Performance. So yeah, having a PPF on my vehicles, it is a super confident thing because I don't really care if I come back and somebody opened up the door on their car and hit my car, anything that happens to it is the actual film taking it. Obviously, if they're so aggressive, they can dent the panel, but at least the paint will be protected.
Here's another reason why to have a PPF. I drove on a fresh oil whenever there was rain and it got all over the PPF. So instead of the paint, the PPF took it.
At the end of the day, having a full entire wrap on your vehicle with the PPF is just so nice. I can actually leave this car dirty without really worrying because it's the PPF that's dirty, not the actual car paint. The reason I mentioned that is because I learned one thing, and that is not to go to the car wash frequently. What happens is when they offer unlimited car wash for a certain amount of money, you end up signing up for it. Then you frequently go to the car wash because when you see your car dirty, you go to the car wash to keep it clean. But at the end of the day, those brushes end up actually damaging your PPF. It could cost you money and time to replace it because in our case, the car wash did not take responsibility and all our 3 cars were damaged because of their wash. So this was the replacement for the PPF. Again, I did not do well on the red Model Y, unfortunately, but if something happens to that PPF, I'm not really going to blame a lot of people because I made the mistake of installing it not correctly. At the end of the day, if you guys get a new Tesla, you want to protect your vehicle, you don't want to spend a lot of money, but you want to do the entire car even, I highly recommend you guys to check out the Drive Protected and order yourself one because you'll save a lot of money, especially if you can wash your car at home, get all of that done. It's 100% worth it and the results are amazing and I'm very happy with it. The only one I'm not happy with is the red Model Y Performance right now, but again, that's on me. So if you want to order a PPF, you can use my code POGAuto when you're at the website for Drive Protected. That way you can save 20% from your order. I don't get any commission if you do so. That's there for you to save money. I do want to thank Drive Protected for sending the replacement PPF pieces for this video. If you guys are new to the channel, consider subscribing and I'll see you guys in the next one.